Raider Nation, listen up. The Silver and Black have made some serious moves this offseason, but there's still one glaring hole that cannot be ignored: free safety. And if the front office is truly serious about taking this defense to the next level, then there's one name they need to call: Justin Simmons. Now let's get one thing straight. This isn't about rumors. This isn't about sources. This is about football sense. You watch this team, you know it. I know it. The Raiders need a true center fielder, a leader, a playmaker, and that's exactly what Simmons brings. He's not just a safety, he's a stabilizer, a tone setter, the kind of player that can flip a game in a heartbeat. The message from the coaching staff this offseason has been crystal clear: compete. That's been the theme. That's been the standard. And if you want to compete, you bring in players who elevate everyone around them. Look what happened when the Raiders signed Jermaine Pratt. Immediately, the linebacker core looked different, more confident, more focused. Simmons could have that same impact in the secondary, maybe even more. Isaiah Polamau is a promising young talent, no doubt. He's tough, disciplined, and has grown every time he's stepped on the field. But right now, what he needs is not pressure, it's support. Throwing him into the fire too soon could set him back. Confidence matters, development matters, and that's where Simmons changes everything. He steps in, owns the free safety role, and lets guys like Polamau keep growing the right way. Not rushed, not overexposed. You protect your future by strengthening your present. So Raider Nation, here's the challenge. Let your voice be heard. If you believe Simmons belongs in silver and black, if you believe this defense needs a true field general, then speak up. Because players pay attention, teams pay attention, and when this fan base rallies behind something, it moves mountains. This isn't just about a roster spot. It's about building a defense that can finally finish games, one that doesn't flinch in the fourth quarter. Simmons could be that difference, and the time to act is now. Here's the truth, Raider Nation. If you stack up the film, the numbers, and the impact, Justin Simmons has outplayed Trayvon Moehrig. And while there's real promise in Isaiah Polamau, the future can't come at the cost of the present. This secondary needs to be locked down now, and Simmons gives you that certainty. But this isn't just about talent. This is about connections. And Simmons has two major ties to the current Raiders regime. First, let's talk Joe Woods, Las Vegas's pass game coordinator and defensive backs coach. Back in 2016, he was Simmons' very first position coach in Denver, the man who helped him take his first steps in the league. Woods also served as the Broncos' defensive coordinator from 2017 to 2018, directly overseeing Simmons' early development into a top-tier safety. That matters. Coaches remember the players they believed in. And when those coaches are now building a defense in Vegas, it's not hard to imagine them wanting to reunite with a trusted star. Now let's go deeper. The second connection? Brian Stark, the Raiders' newly hired assistant general manager. He spent 13 years with the Broncos, a stretch that covered Simmons' entire time in Denver. Stark may not have been the one to draft him, but he saw every chapter of Simmons' career up close. And now, he's sitting next to GM Tom Telesco and John Spytek, helping shape this roster. These aren't vague links. These are direct lines between Simmons and the people making decisions in Vegas. And no, there's no insider leak here. No anonymous sources whispering behind the curtain. This is football logic. When you connect the dots, the need at safety, the coaching history, the front office familiarity, you can't help but feel the momentum. So here's the real question. Would Justin Simmons be the best free safety on this roster right now? The answer isn't just yes, it's duh. There's no one else in the building with his combination of experience, instincts, and leadership. You want a tone setter on defense? You want someone who can quarterback the secondary and cover sideline to sideline? That's Simmons. Just like the Jermaine Pratt signing made this linebacker group feel different, Simmons can do the same for the defensive backfield. A move like this instantly changes the standard. Now maybe Simmons is waiting. Maybe he's pacing himself until training camp, skipping OTAs, waiting for the right fit. But when that phone rings, and if it's the Raiders on the other end, this could become a perfect match at exactly the right time. If you're the Raiders, you have to at least be picking up the phone when it comes to Justin Simmons, even if it's just to see where his head's at, because a player like this doesn't stay on the market forever. Let's get real. The Raiders have prioritized reliable veterans all offseason long. And Simmons? He defines reliability. Since 2017, He's started no fewer than 12 games in a single season. That's consistency. That's availability. And as every coach will tell you, the best ability is availability. In total, Simmons has suited up for 134 games, starting 124 of them. And here's the kicker. He's recorded at least 2 interceptions every year of his career. That's not a fluke. That's elite production, year after year. We're talking about a safety who has 32 career interceptions and 71 pass breakups. Those numbers speak for themselves. He's not just roaming deep. He's affecting games, ending drives, flipping field position. He's a true center fielder, something this defense desperately needs. Yes, he's 31. Yes, he's approaching the back stretch of his career. But let's be clear, Simmons is still playing at a high level. Last season, he posted one of the lowest opposing quarterback ratings of his career and allowed the fewest receiving yards he ever has in a full season. That's not decline, that's evolution. He's smarter, more efficient, and still fast enough to make teams pay for mistakes over the top. And here's where this gets even more valuable. The Raiders are a young team, especially in the secondary. Players like Isaiah Pola-Mao need a veteran voice beside them, someone who's walked the walk, someone who's been through the wars and knows how to prepare, lead, and adjust. Imagine Pola-Mao learning under Justin Simmons. Imagine the growth. Imagine the standard being set, not just by coaches like Pete Carroll and Joe Woods, but by a safety who's been there, done that, and earned every ounce of respect in the league. You bring in Simmons, and he's not just a starter. He becomes a mentor, a culture builder, a leader in the locker room. This isn't just a move that fills a need. It's a move that helps shape the identity of your defense for the rest of the season. And that's why, even at 31, Justin Simmons is still the best option the Raiders could bring in at free safety. Here's another reason the Raiders should be picking up the phone for Justin Simmons. AFC West experience. He's spent his entire 8-year career battling inside this division, and that matters. Knowing the quarterbacks, knowing the schemes, understanding the tendencies of the Chiefs, Broncos, and Chargers. That's not something you can teach overnight. Veterans who've lived through those wars bring an edge. Simmons has been on the field against Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, and every weapon these rivals can throw at you. He doesn't need a crash course. He's already fluent in what it takes to survive and thrive in the AFC West. And that kind of experience doesn't go unnoticed by the people at the top. Mark Davis has always placed value on division familiarity, and it's not just about sentiment, it's about trust. When a player has proven they can handle the fire that comes with AFC West battles, it makes it easier to plug them into a roster that's built to compete right now. Let's be honest, this would be a move that strengthens the locker room, the secondary, and the mindset of the entire defense. And if you're wondering whether the Raiders have the resources to pull it off, they do. Las Vegas is sitting on over $36 million in salary cap space, the 5th most in the NFL. That's more than enough to make a serious move without jeopardizing future flexibility. Here's the big picture. Free safety remains the biggest defensive need. Simmons has deep coaching ties with Joe Woods and Brian Stark. He's a reliable veteran, still playing at a high level. He knows the AFC West inside and out, and the Raiders have the money to do it now. What more do you need? This isn't just speculation, it's opportunity staring the franchise in the face. And honestly, it might not cost nearly as much as people think. If other veterans are signing quality deals at modest prices, the Raiders could land Simmons on a smart, team-friendly contract. So if the motto is still, just win, baby, then here's your move. Sign Justin Simmons. If it were up to me, I'd call his agent today and say, what will it take to get you in silver and black? Because when it comes down to it, Justin Simmons helps you win football games, and that's the bottom line.